There are creatures in the ocean that we were never meant to see. Until now. Something is forcing deep-sea monsters, massive, alien-like, terrifying creatures to the surface. And we have no idea why. Legends say these creatures are omens of disaster. Science says something much bigger is at play. Could this be a warning from the abyss? Or are we simply witnessing the beginning of something terrifying? Let's dive deep and uncover the secrets of the rising Leviathans. Welcome to ProPathways. In January 2023, off the coast of Japan, a fisherman pulled something out of his net. Something out of a nightmare. A 6-meter-long silver-scaled oarfish known in folklore as the messenger of the sea god. In Japan, spotting an oarfish is believed to predict earthquakes and tsunamis. Sounds superstitious? Maybe. But in 2011, just months before Japan's devastating earthquake and tsunami, over 20 oarfish washed ashore. Coincidence? Maybe not. But here's what's really alarming. In 2023, one fisherman caught 50 oarfish at once. In 2024, more were spotted off the coast of California. And it's not just oarfish, creatures that never see the sunlight. The giant phantom jellyfish, black sea devil anglerfish, and even the rare Dumbo octopus are suddenly appearing in shallow waters. It's like the ocean itself is spitting them out. But why? The deep sea, a realm of mystery. Our planet is 71% water, yet we've explored less than 5% of the ocean. We know more about the surface of Mars than we do about our own seabed. Think about it. There could be entire civilizations of unknown creatures living in the depths, and we wouldn't even know. The ocean is divided into layers like a massive alien skyscraper. Sunlight zone, 0 to 200 meters, where sharks, dolphins, and whales roam. Twilight zone, 200 1,000 mid, home to glowing squid and eerie bioluminescent fish. Midnight zone, 1,000 4,000 mi, a pitch-black void filled with terrifying predators. Abyssal zone, 4,000 6,000, where pressure crushes submarines like tin cans. Hadal zone, 6,000 11,000 meter, the true abyss, untouched by sunlight, where life as we know it barely exists. And yet, something from this forbidden world is climbing higher. Something is pushing them up. The origins of Leviathan, a monster born from chaos? Before we explore the science, let's step back in time. The idea of a monstrous sea beast isn't new. Cultures around the world have spoken of the Leviathan for thousands of years. But where did this legend come from? Some say Leviathan's origins trace back to Mesopotamian and Semitic myths. In the Hebrew Bible, it's a fearsome sea monster created by God, an unstoppable force with impenetrable scales and the ability to breathe fire. In Canaanite mythology, it resembles Lotan, a chaotic sea dragon defeated by the god Baal. And in Babylonian legend, the battle between the storm god Marduk and the chaotic serpent Tiamat sounds eerily familiar to Leviathan's story. During the Middle Ages, Leviathan was linked to Satan, hell, and greed. Some even believed the righteous would one day feast on its flesh in the Messianic age. But what if Leviathan wasn't just a myth? Could the Leviathan legend have been inspired by real creatures? Let's take a look at some terrifying candidates. Megalodon. This extinct giant shark ruled the oceans millions of years ago, growing over 50 feet long. Imagine ancient sailors finding its massive teeth. No wonder they feared a sea monster. 2. Basilosaurus. Not a dinosaur, but a prehistoric serpentine whale with razor-sharp teeth. If anything looked like a real-life Leviathan, this was it. 3. Giant squid. With tentacles stretching over 40 feet, these elusive creatures might have sparked legends of monstrous sea serpents attacking ships. The science behind the rising creatures. During World War II, sonar operators noticed something bizarre. Every night, the ocean floor seemed to rise. Turns out, it wasn't the seabed moving. It was millions of deep-sea creatures migrating to the surface. This is called DL vertical migration, DVM, the largest daily migration on Earth. But something is disrupting this natural cycle. The culprit? Climate change. Oceans absorb 90% of the heat from global warming, making surface waters hotter while deeper waters remain cold. This traps oxygen at the surface, suffocating deep-sea life. To breathe, these creatures are moving upward, right into the dangers of predators and human civilization. How climate change is transforming the ocean. Rising ocean temperatures. Since the 19th century, ocean temperatures have risen by over 1 degree C. This small shift has massive consequences for marine life. Coral bleaching. Reefs are dying at an alarming rate. Any species displacement. Fish are migrating to cooler waters, disrupting food chains. Oxygen depletion. Less oxygen in deep waters means creatures must rise higher. Ocean acidification. The chemical time bomb. The ocean absorbs 30% of human-made CO2, making the water more acidic than ever before. This weakens shells of crabs, lobsters, and plankton, threatening the entire food chain. Disrupted ocean currents regulate Earth's climate, but climate change is slowing them down, creating dead zones where marine life suffocates. Some scientists warn that the Atlantic Ocean's major current system could collapse by 2050. Leading to climate chaos and mass marine extinctions, the disruption of oceanic ecosystems is accelerating at an alarming rate. If unchecked, this devastation could trigger a chain reaction, destabilizing global fisheries, coastal communities, and even the planet's climate balance. The extinction crisis. We are losing species before we even discover them. Polar marine life, deep-sea creatures, and coral reefs are all on the brink. The ocean is changing faster than life can adapt. By 2100, the abyssal zone could heat up by 1 degree Celsius, forcing deep-sea creatures to migrate 11 times faster than normal. Many of these species could vanish before we even discover them. Deep-sea mining, the final blow? As if climate change wasn't bad enough, humanity is actively destroying the last untouched frontier of Earth. Corporations are racing to mine the ocean floor for gold, silver, and rare minerals. They're targeting hydrothermal vents, the only homes of creatures like the scaly-foot snail, which has survived for millions of years. Scientists, activists, and over 3 million people are fighting back. Already 32 countries have opposed deep-sea mining, but the battle is far from over. The International Seabed Authority still holds the power to grant mining licenses. If these industries get their way, we could lose species we never even got a chance to meet. Conclusion: a warning from the abyss? Throughout history, the Leviathan was feared as a harbinger of chaos. It was a monster from the abyss, a force of destruction, a warning of things to come. But what if that warning wasn't just legend? What if it was real? Right now, the deep sea, Earth's last untouched frontier, is changing faster than we can understand. The creatures that evolved to survive in eternal darkness are now rising toward the light. Something is pushing them up. Something far more terrifying than any sea monster ever imagined. Oarfish, giant squid, phantom jellyfish. These ancient beings have survived for millions of years in the ocean's deepest trenches. So why now? What force is disturbing the balance that has existed since before human civilization even began? Climate change, deep-sea mining, the greed of nations that seek to rip open the seafloor for gold, silver, and minerals while ignoring the cost. We are unleashing forces we do not understand, and in doing so, we may be summoning nightmares we are not prepared to face. Are these creatures dying in unfamiliar waters because they cannot survive what's happening below? Or are they rising because something far worse is chasing them from the deep? What if the real Leviathan is still waiting for us below? Do you think we're about to discover something truly monstrous? Should we stop deep-sea mining before it's too late? Let us know in the comments, hit like, and subscribe if you want to keep exploring the greatest mysteries of the ocean.